Welcome to another edition of the Arch Rival Roller Girls Rewind alongside McGill Gorilla. My name's Muckety Muck. We're recapping the action from August, and what a night it turned out to be here at Midwest Sport Hockey. As Ohio came rolling into town, it turned out to be an incredible night with two great bouts, over 600 in the audience here for travel team action. What an exclamation point on the final game here of the 2014 campaign.
Great ending, and what would you expect from anything else besides ARRG and Ohio? A great rivalry over the last several years, and it lived up to expectations once again.
And we knew there were some heavy expectations against our arch rival heading into our A bout because we had a very climbing, rapidly rising Ohio squad. They came in at number 20 in the WFTDA, taking on number 27 arch rival Roller Girls. Arch rival coming into this contest with a 15-game winning streak here at home. They've never been beaten here at Midwest Sport Hockey. If they were going to get number 16, they had to literally bring their A game here tonight.
They truly did. Ohio is so strong, and they know arch rival, and they play so similarly. You see these highlights, it's going to look like just two mirror image teams. What a battle tonight it was.
It was a battle. Let's take a look at first period action. About 5 minutes deep into this one, a one-point contest got blown open early on as BRICKYARD notches up 22 points thanks to this power jam, and with 22:40 left to go in the first, arch rival was up 34-12.
Folks might think I'm just repeating my praise of BRICKYARD from previous versions of this rewind, but she is so good. She was so solid tonight once again. Just a powerful jammer that's right in her apex of her abilities.
Two jams later, though, Ohio came rolling back, and it was a power jam that got them back into this contest. 13-point strike here by the Smacktivists for Ohio with 19 minutes left to go in the first period of play, made this an 11-point bout.
Smacktivists is clearly the number one jammer for Ohio, and the Smacktivists had a great impact this evening in the first half, but it was second half that we'll talk about later that was even more powerful.
Arch rival did roll up a 95-59 lead at halftime. We head into second period action now. Arch rival, they were clinging on to a very close lead, 109-95, heading into this jam with 16 minutes left to go in regulation. This 10-point jam from arch rival, paced by Mighty Mighty Boston, the power jam gave a little bit of wiggle room. It extended arch rival's lead to 119-95 with 16:50 left to go in regulation.
Ohio seemed to really be focusing on BRICKYARD in the second half, and Boston stepped up her game and kind of split the difference there. It was able to keep arch rival in the lead going late into this bout.
And late into this bout, it came down to arch rival defense. We go to about 7:10 left to go here in regulation, and Ohio goes on the power jam. Bernadette dons the star. They were only down by 22 points, and you thought, oh no, the wheels are going to come flying off the wagon, but arch rival surrendered no points on this power jam. It went 2 minutes deep. They didn't give up anything, Gorilla, and they still made the 22-point lead.
Arch rival's defense was the key this evening. Yes, they had great jammer execution, but their defense came up really when it mattered.
Ohio kept it close down the stretch. Arch rival, however, outscores Ohio. They go on with a WFTDA rankings upset. They top Ohio 160-153, and yes, the streak continues here at Midwest Sport Hockey at 16-0. Incredible team effort here tonight by arch rival. Let's hear from the co-captain, BRICKYARD.
Well, we've been working on a lot of things together, such as plays and our offense and certain things that we actually executed really, really well tonight. So it was great to see all of our hard work paying off on the track, which is really good for us.
Ohio drops to 8-6 on the season, but they got still a lot more derby to play here in 2014. Let's get the perspective of this bout from bench coach Inspector Muffin.
To quote, former NFL coach Denny Green, Arch is who we thought they were. You're always going to get a hard-fought bout, hard blockers, offense, from the back and the front of the pack. And you're going to have a tough 1-2 jammer rotation with BRICKYARD and Mighty Mighty Boston. When you've got a 1-2 jammer like that, you're really able to kind of be flexible with the third. And I think that's what makes this rivalry so great.
So arch rival finishes the regular season at 6-6. And considering the quality of teams that we played here the last couple of months, I think you got to feel sky high about arch rival's efforts here to finish at a 500 mark heading into postseason. But let's get back to what we experienced here in August. This was a team effort, and clutch defense down the road really notched up the W here tonight.
It really was just a few jams where the defense tightened up just enough, knocked the jammer out just the right amount of times. If it wasn't for that, I tell you what, that 7 points could have gone away very quickly at the end, and we'd be talking about a completely different result. Solid effort, though, all around.
Absolutely. Now, postseason on the horizon for arch rival. We'll talk about that here in just a little bit. But we had another great bout here at Midwest Sport Hockey. B-team action with the St. Lunachix against Ohio's Gang Green. And the Lunachix coming into this bout at 3-3. They wanted to end the season on a high note. It wasn't going to be easy against a good B squad from Columbus.
It wasn't going to be easy, but I think we saw the most well-executed bout from Lunachix all season long tonight.
We pick up action in the second period. Arch rival on top at intermission, 128-74. 3 jams deep into the second period, and this was a nice surprise as we saw Chokehold Chanel back into the swing of things for the St. Lunachix, notching up 15 points on this strike here. Arch rival rolling along at 152-83, 25 minutes left in the bout.
Choke looked so sharp this evening. She was really on her game. She knew right where to go. She was very fast, very responsive. Excellent, excellent bout from Chokehold.
We saw some new faces in the rotation here tonight with about 10:40 left to go here in regulation. We see a power jam from Arch rival. And yeah, one of those new faces, Warpath the Gin, the captain of the Floor Delinquents, the Arch rival Roller Girls C Squad. She notches 9 on this rotation here, adding on to that streak that the Lunachix were putting up here in the second half.
Super solid night from Warpath. She just executed. It wasn't flashy. It wasn't overwhelming. It was just solid, solid jamming from Warpath.
And we saw some familiar faces back into the mix, including Molecular Mayhem. Deep into the bout, this put Arch rival over the 200-point mark with an 18-pointer scored by Molecular Mayhem with 2 minutes left. A solid output by that sophomore jammer here tonight.
Yeah, Mayhem was great in the second half, and she just added all 4 jammers for Arch rival. Put up big points tonight. They were very, very solid.
The St. Lunachix outscore Gang Green 102-34 in the second period of play. They roll on to the 230-108 victory over Ohio, and they finish the 2014 campaign with a record of 4-3. Solid workout tonight, especially the blocking schema out there as well. Let's hear from Science Friction.
We were talking and communicating and working what we've been working on in practice, and we were able to execute what we talked about executing. And those are definitely positives, and it's great to go on this kind of win.
As we said, a great finish for the St. Lunachix, finishing the 2014 campaign with a record of 4-3. And Ohio, they had very small numbers coming into this lineup, only with 10 skaters out there. They did a nice job of holding tight in this one.
Yeah, Ohio's got such great heart. For the Lunachix, you know, we talked about the blocking. Every time you saw the 4 blockers out there, you thought, wow, that's a really good blocking scheme. It was no matter what combination, they were really hitting jackpot tonight. Great, great effort from the Lunachix.
Yeah, a fun night of roller derby here at Midwest Sport Hockey. Shame on you if you missed it, but you know what? Now we close the book on the home campaign here for the travel squads. We now got to talk about postseason. Of course, the arch rival Roller Girl All-Stars, they will be competing in the upcoming WFTDA Division I playoffs, and they have themselves a tough journey ahead. With proximity, of course, but the level of competition that they have to play. They have to travel out to Salt Lake City, Utah. Let's take a look at what's on tap for the arch rival Roller Girls. They will play in the playoff tournament taking place, as we said, in Salt Lake. Their first round matchup takes place on Friday, September the 26th. Arch rival is the number 7 seed heading into this 10-league bracketed tournament. They played the 10th seed, the Tri-City Thunder, 9-6. They're number 40 in the WFTDA. Now, what's so interesting about the new complexion of this new WFTDA playoff system, and we saw this last year when it was first put into place, you really don't know who you're playing. Teams that you are not familiar to seeing, maybe teams that you don't have access to online footage of, now all of a sudden you're playing them in a high-profile tournament. Arch rival, with their victory over Ohio here tonight, got a huge boost of momentum going into this playoff round that's coming up in Salt Lake. I think there's some very solid things to take away from this contest, and it's going to have to be brought up to a whole new level as a number 7 seed, because if you win, you play again later that day in Friday against a very higher seeded squad there. So Arch rivals got their work cut out for them on their first day. What's your assessment of this team heading into that first round matchup against Tri-City?
I think they look good right now. I think their defense is firing well. I think they need to figure out what they're going to do with their jammer rotation against the higher levels of competition. I like their chances against Tri-City in that first bout. They should be better than them. They've performed well against the teams ranked in the 30s to 40s range traditionally. Even though they've not seen Tri-City, Tri-City will bring a new look to them, and we'll talk about that in a minute. Actually, we talked to the coach of Ohio who can talk about that. But I like their chances. That day 1 matchup, though, if they win against Angel City, I believe it's going to be, that's going to be really tough, and that'll be the toughest team that they've probably played all season long. After that, you just hope to play well and come out better than you went in. I think this team can do that. I think they can come out of this bracket going in as the 7. They can come out as a better seed than they went in.
I tell you what, Gorilla and I can make our assessments of Tri-City, but let's go to the expert. Ohio is a league that played Tri-City earlier this season. Very tough contest they had with them. And, of course, Ohio played us here tonight. Let's get the perspective from Ohio bench coach Inspector Muffin.
Well, this is Tri-City's first appearance at the Division I postseason level here, so they've got a lot to prove themselves. They kind of did the anyone, anywhere, anytime too, like Ohio. They played a lot of bouts this season, and they were very successful coming out of last year. You know, they definitely wanted to make that jump from D2 to D1. They've got a great 1-2 jammer rotation. I keep saying it with Overkill and Freudian Whip.
So really, Gorilla, we're looking at two very comparable squads in Arch Rival and Tri-City Thunder. As far as the depth goes, as far as the strength and jammer rotation goes, I think it's going to be a really good Donnybrook in round number 1.
I do too. I like the fact that Arch Rival has veterans that know what it's like to travel a long distance and play a tough first round bout. I like that. They're going to be able to take other people that don't have that kind of experience in the league and give them some insight. I think it's going to be a solid first round. I think Arch Rival can prevail, and they're going to set themselves up for a positive weekend. But don't fall asleep on a 10 seed. Yeah. You never fall asleep on a 10 seed because you can drop that one, and that sends your weekend in a whole different path. Arch Rival doesn't want to think about that. They just want to win in advance.
Absolutely. It's going to be a great postseason for Arch Rival. Looking forward to it. Once again, Friday, September 26th at Salt Lake City, Utah. Number 7 Arch Rival against number 10 Tri-City Thunder. It's going to be a great bout there, and you can catch the action on WFTDA. TV. And if you want to find out more about the Arch Rival Roller Girls, check out the website, archrivalrollergirls.com. You can visit our official Facebook page, or you can visit us via the tweet at ARRG. Gorilla, I don't want 2014 to end. I mean, we still got postseason derby. We've got the ARRG awards party coming up later on this year, and then we've got the local campaign just a couple of months away. You know, it's going to be perpetual motion going here on forward for the rest of the calendar year.
Very excited for the local season coming up. More announcements about that coming soon online through Facebook. Yep. And then you're going to see our faces in Evansville. We're going to be doing the postseason in Evansville. If you want to check it out, we'll be online. Arch Rival Salt Lake postseason for everybody in September. It's going to be exciting.
Keep your calendars open, folks. I think it's going to be busy. For Miguel Gorilla, my name's Muck and Muck. Thanks so much for watching The Rewind.